Tuesday morning, woke up 5 a.m. and I answered first thing all of my coaching text messages, just get all the responses that happen over the time zone difference between here and elsewhere. Then I got ready, chucked the AirPods in. Right now I'm listening to a podcast, Chris Williamson podcast, probably one of my most favorite channels. Him and Mel Robbins are my top two, and then I would have to tear down. Number three would be Diary of a CEO and then Joe Rogan. Maybe I'm a little bit basic in that sense. So I'm just gonna go for a nice little 30-minute walk, wake up, listen to some fresh new knowledge, have a few thoughts to start the day, take in the surroundings. Finished the walk. Now I am sitting down in the little office editing the podcast that I recorded with a guest yesterday. And it, so far, running back through it, has been so special. If you watched Future Self vlog episode 4, you'd know that when I edit a podcast, I have to watch it 3 times over. So I've got to not only talk it for the 90 minutes, I've got to run through the first edit for 90 minutes, then I've got to make sure everything was edited and smooth for the next 90 minutes, and then there's a 4th time, so 4 including actually recording it itself. I then need to make the clips. So we're just running through it the first time. Now I am 2 coffees deep.
And he doesn't cry, so
Wow.
yeah.
I just went on a massive work stint. I edited 1 full podcast I recorded. I edited 2 podcast short clips that are 5 minutes long. I made 4 thumbnails, 2 Instagram posts, and it is now 12 p.m. What I'm doing is I'm having breakfast and I'm cooking up a protein pancake, which looks like the biggest pile of shit when it lands on the plate.
That I have is like, where am I going to go after Madrid? Or where am I going to go after Bali? Or where am I going to have to go after Dubai? Or when am I next going to inspiration? I had so many new ideas. I was like able to think deeply. Even though I was reading, it kind of brings new inspiration. And that is an unbelievable life. Where you're trying to improve every single day, I think you should be consciously thinking of the hours Monday to Friday, and I can make over 10K.
Sup store in Canggu. There's 2 things we need. Need to restock up on protein powder, and then I am also going to grab a pre-workout because I have become that guy again and I am using pre-workout. So we'll just have a little look around, see what's going to be the best quality, best price, and then we're off to the gym.
Is the mocha flavor?
Yeah, yeah. I just bought way too much stuff because for some reason I think money when it comes to my health and fitness and whatever goals doesn't count as much. I bought a protein powder, a sleep, melatonin support. I also bought a new pre-workout and then 2 carbohydrate sugar gels because I'm planning on doing a really big run on the weekend, so I just bought some gels which I don't normally use, but this run's going to be bigger than normal. Also, for everyone curious, it came to 170 Australian dollars. That is a 4.5 kilo bag of protein powder with 25 grams of protein per serving. I bought, it's called Testosterone PM. I didn't really buy it for the testosterone. It just has the good ingredients on the back that I am interested in. Super basic pre-workout. Now the way I go for my pre-workout is 3 ingredients: L-citrulline, beta-alanine, and caffeine. And then 2 running gels. My biggest tip when it comes to buying protein powder is, unless you're buying something that is to help with your gut, such as the difference of an isolate to hydrolyze, just go for whatever is the cheapest per serving. So the way I actually calculate buying protein is how much it costs divided by the amount of servings. So $170, sorry, so $88 divided by 70 something servings is just over $1 a serving, which is insane for protein. Back in Australia, it's like $2 plus per serving of 25 grams. So that's literally how I shop for my supplements. Just ratio the cost to the ingredients and the dosage, and you're good to go. I just pulled up back to home after finishing the gym session. Life some days feels so go, go, go. It's already 3:30 p.m. I'm gonna quickly hydrate. So I'm about to have a 10 plus hydration sachet. Change my clothes, get back on the bike, and then we're sending it to Beyond.
Crank the music up. Bring that shit in! Check this out.
And shout out to Max again. He sent it through. He sent it through this morning. He was like, oh, this is a workout I did. I really want you to do it. I got 196 cows in 10 minutes. So that's just shy of 20 cows on the minute, which I'm super, super happy. Even more happy that I could just tell him that I beat him. However, that's like me beating him in one thing out of the hundreds of other things that he beats me in, but we don't talk about that. We only talk about what I beat him in. Oh, but I'm feeling cooked. Short, sharp, basic, but god damn it, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, but that's on them. Dinner has arrived. I got 200 grams of white rice, 250 grams of chicken thigh, 200 grams of steak, 200 grams of beef, and 2 potato rosties. Yum. That's probably my most favorite part of the day, honestly. I have a coffee, I have breakfast, and then this is my massive meal where I get the bulk of my protein. Weirdly enough, I've really been enjoying a high protein meal to absorb whilst I sleep. I'm not sure if it's the most beneficial, but for me it's been working absolutely amazingly. So I'm going to get stuck into this. Leave me alone. Oh, good morning. Welcome back to another day in the life, in this beautiful life. Honestly, it feels like life just does not stop. It just doesn't stop, from training to cardio to coaching to podcasting to content creating to sticking to my boundaries, my routines and my systems. It just feels like it is a never-ending hustle. Although we do love it. Today's the worst day of the week because it's goddamn leg day, which, I mean, anyone who goes to the gym, unless your quads are absolutely huge, you know exactly what I am talking about. I'm just about to head to the gym, so we're gonna go train legs, then we're going to beyond. We're gonna do some running intervals, some slow, medium and fast pace along the rice field track, because I didn't wake up and do the run club this morning. I wanted to get stuck into work. I've just non-stop been creating thumbnails, editing a podcast, editing podcast clips, and also editing the day in the life as well. So I've changed my routine a little bit at the moment. I'm cranking work first thing in the morning and then dealing with my training midday and afternoon. After my session, I've got to come back, then get ready and prepare for a solo podcast, which will definitely be out before this episode's out. It's the struggle of being in your 20s, which is super cool because I'm going to talk about my experience as a 23-year-old, but then also I did a massive Instagram poll and got insight from everyone above 30. So everyone who was 30 and above, I asked for the insight of what the hardest thing was in your 20s. After that, we've got to come back. We've got a few future self coaching calls. So because of the time conversion between here and Australia, it delays my hours by 2, which is great. So when I do later night calls for my clients, it means that it's still kind of early afternoon for me. So I'll do those calls. By then, the day's probably going to be done. We can't mess around. Let's go. I'm going to spare you guys from watching that workout because I don't want every vlog to just be beyond cardio, weights and working and podcasting, but funny enough, that is my life. For those that are interested, the workout I just did was 2-kilometer run, 3-minute rest. 2-kilometer run, 3-minute rest, 2-kilometer run, but they were negative splits. So the first 2Ks were at a 6:15 warm-up cruisy pace. The second 2 kilometers were at a 5:30 pace, just getting a little bit quicker. And then the last 2 were at a 4:30, so that was an absolute push. I was buckled on the last 100 meters, because as you guys know, becoming a 2-minute, 2-second person means we push the last 500 meters or 30 seconds. Just pulled up to Vox Pop Studio. Now for any of you wondering why I now rock this little thing on the side of my head, it's not because I bought a new microphone. I actually bought a whole new camera setup, and by buying the whole new setup, it came with a microphone aspect as well. So if you notice that everything's like a little bit more smoother and not so jittery, that was the feedback I got initially. I just bought a whole new camera. Why? Well, if this is going to be part of my future, there's no point withholding an investment in what I'm serious about. I need to do what my future self does now. So the guy that runs a big podcast, million subscribers, runs a big weekly vlog, what does he do? Well, he has good gear and he doesn't mess around. Welcome back to the Future Self podcast. Welcome to season 4, episode 23. You read the title, you clicked on this episode on YouTube, or you tuned in on Spotify for a reason. Because being in your 20s is hard. I will see you in the next one. Episode done, filmed. That will be 23 of season 4. The struggles of being in your 20s. Absolutely love that episode because I'm 23, so I can relate to it so much. What I'm going to do now, like I said, jump on that bike, send it straight back home. I've got Future Self calls all afternoon. I won't film those because they are private, they're very personal, they're serious. We're really trying to communicate around ideas of change in an individual's life and the thought processes they have and new thoughts they could evolve into, and maybe the things that don't serve them and navigating into things that do serve them. Of course, there's jokes, there's relatability, there's fun, there's just a bit of chat because we become close at the end of the day. However, the point of the call is to really make shit better for your future self.